Hey, it's John from Tinderbox Arts. I'm going to put a new battery in my R1200RT. This is a Yuasa brand. I don't even know how to pronounce it. That's how I pronounce it. The model number is YT19BC-BS. And this comes all ready to go. In fact, they even give you the screws this time. And what they do is give you this. It's basically a box of sulfuric acid, which goes into the battery, so it's not yet loaded with the battery water. And then put that down. The battery itself is here, and it should be a direct fit into the RT. So what you want to do before you start to do this process is to fill it with the water and then charge it overnight, and make sure that's all charged up, ready to go. Then we'll go ahead and put it in the bike. All right. The procedure for filling this, I'm going to try to get on camera here. It's a little bit annoying trying to do it with the camera in the way, but so basically they give you this little bottle thing full of the electrolyte or the sulfuric acid, and all you got to do is take this little strip off the battery. So the battery's not filled yet, so we're going to take that off. Then this, I'm trying to get this on camera better. That's good. So this little cap thing on top will eventually seal the battery itself. So I'm just going to take that off. Okay. We'll save that for later. So this little cap will go on later. And then this is actually sealed with foil, and you're not supposed to pierce those in any way. What you're supposed to do is turn this upside down. It's still sealed, mind you. Again, I'm trying to get this on camera. All right, so it's still sealed. Then I'm going to put this, line it up, and then push it down firmly, and the water will start to flow out. Now, this is going to take a while, like 20 minutes, something like that. But once all this fluid is in here, then I'll just tap it. They want you to tap the side of this. Just make sure you're sure that all the fluid is out. And then we'll put this cap back on, and then that's it. The battery is sealed. You never touch it again. All right, to get the old battery out, it's really simple. The seat is removed, and then I think it's a 10 millimeter wrench to get these nuts off. Now, I do have a battery tender on here, which complicates matters a little bit, so I'm just going to loosen the negative side first. Get that out. A little chilly this morning, so my fingers are a little stiff. All right, so we'll just get that loosened and out, which it almost is. And then the only other thing you got to do, there's a tie down right here, and that's just a Torx. So we'll just remove that tie down, get that out of the way. That just hooks on the bottom. Just get the guy out of my way for the moment. All right, so I just finished getting these nuts off, and then I can pull the whole battery out. All right, the old battery just pulls right out. I'm going to show you a little trick I use, though. It's just hard to get your fingers into this small space to get the old battery out, and it tends to slide away from you. So all I did was take some zip ties and poke them through the terminals here, one here and one here, and then you can just hook your finger on that and pull the battery right out. As a matter of fact, if you have trouble getting the new one in, you could do the same thing getting the new one in. These are plastic, so they're not going to conduct electricity, so that worked pretty good. So the old battery's out. We'll just slide the new one in and connect everything up. All right, the new battery's in place. They have these little covers, which I put on. I also put a little dielectric grease in there. I used, I don't know, this stuff, but you know, you can get grease specifically designed for batteries, but the connection's made. Put a little grease on top of there just to keep the weather out, and then we'll snap these little plastic things back on, and we're good to go as far as that. Now, the last thing to do is to help the ECM, the computer of the bike, relearn where the throttle is. So we have to reset the, or relearn the throttle position sensor. All right, the throttle position sensor has to be kind of reset with the computer. So all we got to do is turn the bike on, but not, you know, start the bike. So we're going to let that come up and do its little thing. Then we're going to take the throttle and move it all the way twice and back, and then turn the bike off. And that should help the ECM relearn the range of motion for the throttle position sensor. If you don't do this, my understanding is it'll still run, just maybe a little rough for a few miles until the computer relearns where that is. All right, everything's in place now, so let's see if this thing turns over any quicker than it did before. That was my symptom before with the old batteries. Just when I started it was starting to turn over real slow, even though the battery was charged as it's going to get. So let's see what happens here. Let it do its thing. It's about 40 degrees out right now. Looks good.